Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwader and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the great pleasure of meeting with Ken Valler, who's the president and co-founder of the Valler Group. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Gerhard. Thank you for having me.
So there's a term I'd like to throw out today, which is inside selling. And sales leaders often say you must challenge your customer to be successful. How does the Valler Group feel about that? And what are your thoughts on inside selling?
This concept of inside selling is certainly not new. It's been around for over a decade. But the way you actually bring insight and conduct inside selling today is markedly different than how we believe it was first introduced to the market. And frankly, what we think is instead of thinking about inside selling as, well, I'm going to bring one insight to disrupt my customer's thinking, what we do at the Valler Group is think, how do we enable sellers to be insightful? So it's not about just one insight. It's about having a conversation and being insightful throughout the entire conversation. And maybe in multiple ways, you're able to stimulate your customer's thinking. I think sellers underestimate the value that they can bring to their customers. And what I mean by that is that, look, salespeople have the luxury, not always, but in many cases, of working across a multitude of different organizations and maybe even industries. So they get to see how a number of different companies operate, and they get to learn from those experiences. Whereas customers tend to work within their own organization, and they may not have that broad purview that a salesperson has. So right there is a platform, an opportunity for sellers to leverage that experience.
So Ken, what are some of the challenges that you see with sellers trying to share insight with their customers?
But by and large, what happens is I see sellers too quickly default to sharing insights at a product level. And what that means is now you take the conversation kind of down a specific pathway. And that does a couple things. Number one is a lot of times, especially in early stage selling, customers don't care about your products. And especially the higher up in an organization, as you work with executives, they don't care. So what you think is insightful may not be terribly insightful to your customer. That's the first thing. But the second thing is it's because sellers aren't equipped to carry a strategic conversation with a customer that's not about their products. And so that's one of the things when we talk about being insightful, we're trying to enable sellers to carry conversations, so stay at that strategic level.
The question really is, how are you helping companies teach salespeople and bring that to life in their organization?
I think one of the biggest opportunities is this idea of bringing a point of view to market. Totally underutilized. And it's the idea, Gerhard, that we're going to bring a point of view. And what we think about the Valler Group with regard to point of view is, look, you either have a position or you take a perspective on a specific topic. So, for example, with the work from home environment that's going on today, we talk to a lot of technology companies, and they go, "Oh yeah, everyone's at work from home," and they want to talk to us about how they help their people to be more effective in the work from home environment. And we ask them, "Well, do you have a point of view on that?" Well, no, they have a lot of products or services that they can offer, but not a point of view typically. And we'd say, look, you should have a point of view. And by having a point of view that way, that takes a position. Now you can use that as a point of discussion. By the way, sometimes it's not, you don't have a position. We say you might have a perspective. How is that different? Well, a perspective is we believe this to be true. So having points of view discussions, either about a position or perspective, those are the things I'm talking about that enable sellers to really carry a strategic dialogue. Neither are about your products, but they're about offering up something that stimulates your customers' thinking.
Well, I think there's another element, which is the ability of the salesperson to create a narrative, create a unifying story that can help customers make a better and more educated decision. How is the Valler Group helping salespeople tell better stories?
The story comes from customer examples, that your past experiences that you have as a seller or as an organization with other customers. And what's unique about our approach is that when I've seen other organizations share stories with their customers, the stories always kind of begin and end the same way. It's kind of like, well, here was the customer's business situation. Here's the problem they faced. Here's the products or services we offered, and here were the results. Not terribly insightful. What is insightful to your customers? Well, what was the journey to get to those results? What did you learn along the way that you can pass on to us that you'd say, boy, if I had this situation over again, I'd repeat that because we know it works. That's the level of insight. It's the journey and being able to tell a story that provides that level of data to your customer, that level of experience. That's what they want. They can't find that in a case study on your website.
Do you have a methodology for teaching that to salespeople?
Absolutely. It's a big part of what we call our learn and share conversations. This is part of the share part, which is how do we bring insight and be insightful with our customers through a conversation. There's a lot of different tools that we have. And again, they're bringing points of view. They're bringing customer examples in the form of stories. We help sellers on how to not only build and create points of view and build and create compelling stories, but be able to articulate them to their customers and do it in the context of a conversation.
So what can people do to learn more about what you're doing?
They can visit us at our website and find our number or a contact us form there. It's www.thevalagroup.com. They can follow us on LinkedIn, follow us at the Vala Group. We publish a lot of content and blogs and ideas that will help sellers and sales leaders. Just pick up the phone and call us. We'd love to have a conversation and understand what it is you're trying to accomplish, but at the same time, we'll share our perspective on what we're seeing out there in the market and what we think might be useful to help advance your sales organization.